This is the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway.
Lagos Coastal Highway.
Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway.
For the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway project.
On the Lagos to Calabar Coastal Highway.
The Lagos Calabar
It's a super highway.
A 700-kilometer coastal road running through the length of Nigeria's coastline with a projected cost of 15 trillion naira. And this is also the Sokoto Badagry Superhighway, a 1,068-kilometer superhighway that forms the terminal phase of the Trans-Saharan Highway running from the shores of the Mediterranean to the coast of West Africa. These and numerous other road infrastructure projects ongoing across the country, ranging from regional, national and continental scale, form the backbone of Tinubu's administration infrastructure revolution. Projects that were once drafts on government shelves are now becoming realities, built with revolutionary standards. And for the first time, the country is witnessing a massive scale of new technologies in its road infrastructure, with steel-reinforced concrete roads, solar-powered street lights towering and running through the length of superhighways. It seems like an infrastructure revolution. And that story, the scale, the circumstance, the controversies and the contradictions trailing it is what we are going to uncover. Coming to power in 2023, President Tinubu ran on the promise of renewed hope, a promise to making Nigerians hope again. And core to his agenda was a rapid push for infrastructure renewal, against a background of broken promises and decaying road infrastructure. This infrastructure decay was something now associated with government roads across the country. Many federal and even continental linking roads were largely running to decay, and many more than 40 to 50 years with no major maintenance. Most of these deficiencies were excused for the lack of fundings and corruption scandals that made some roads reconstruction appear repeated in annual budgets for decades tricky, with no serious work on ground. But something seems to be changing lately, with multiple road projects across every region in the country. And the most notable innovation with this administration is the introduction of the concrete road technology that seems to permanently end the need of regular reconstruction and maintenance, largely the influence of the Minister of Works, David Umahi. With 4 mega new highways and other 13 highways reconstruction and many other federal road infrastructure, the Tinubu era might eventually rival the last major road infrastructure upgrade of the Shagari era. These speculations are not unconnected with data. A look at the road infrastructure scale from small to very high of all civilian executive administrations in the country shows that Tinubu's administration not only rank high but also on par with that of Shehu Shagari in the late 70s and 80s road construction per kilometer. But beyond the scale, difference becomes more obvious when evaluating the pace of the progress per 100 kilometers of roads. Unlike other presidents in the country, the Tinubu administration has constructed more roads per kilometer per year. Pace of projects that usually took previous administrations years are in fact completed in a year. And the strategic thought behind this infrastructure push is the logistic corridors it intends to create, such as the coastal corridor with the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, the north to south corridor embodied in the Badagry to Sokoto Superhighway, and the inline corridors with various major highway rollouts and expansions, which in the long term create industrial clusters running along these corridors. But here's the caveat. A lot of these changes are directly linked to reforms and adjustments. Firstly, more than before, the federal government has expanded revenue sources for many of these capital projects. There are sources like pensions funds investments, the sovereign wealth funds investments, which are now used to fund many of these infrastructure developments, PPP arrangements, which includes the tax credit scheme and toll schemes. Secondly, the Tinubu's government sourcing of various loans for various lender institutions like the World Bank and IMF. This explains the massive liquidity of the present government. Then there's the proceeds from the removed fuel subsidy, which in fact explains, if not the major reason for the increased government liquidity with Tinubu's government. Then that's the unification of the country's exchange rate. The government now has more money to spend, even though it's meant the devaluation of the local currency. So a lot of this infrastructure push is actually thanks to more money on scale. More money because Nigerians now pay more. But however, this infrastructure push begins to look less of a bet on the infrastructure future of the country and more of contradictions when you look at investments of other areas of the economy. For one, the administration is yet to return the economy back to its pre-2023 levels. More than ever, Nigerians are poorer, which is a stark contrast to the government coffers, which flourishes at the moment. This ugly scenario has come to characterize the Tinubu's administration. More money with the government and less with the citizenry. Also, this is happening at a time that Nigerians are yet to see such commensurate effort by the same government in dealing with insecurity in the country, which is at all-time low, and which leads to the third contradiction, which actually questions the sincerity of this infrastructure push. You see, infrastructure projects in Nigeria are usually one of the major ways of massive corruption. By budget padding, contract backs, and monetary misappropriation, a familiar acquisition that is not unconnected to the Tinubu's administration. One of the major instances is the secrecy that surrounded the contracting of the Coastal Highway, a major highway, to one particular construction firm, whose owner and the president's connections has raised suspicion among many Nigerians. When you consider all this, you really begin to wonder if you are genuinely witnessing an infrastructure renaissance, or the government is selling Nigerians a pipe dream. Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. On to the next video.